Here we are, folks. This is today's project. I think this is a Briggs and Stratton engine. Oh, they're coming for me. I better hide. Hold on. Whew, okay, I think I dodged that one. Anyways, I think it's a Briggs and Stratton engine. It's a POWERSTROKE professional ready start 8.75 horsepower, or excuse me, foot-pounds of gross torque, blah 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 blah, 190cc engine. It is an overhead valve, but we are having problems with it, and I'm pretty sure I can fix it. The owner tells me that it just won't start, so I believe him. And it's in such new condition, I'm just assuming that it's sat too long, so the carburetor's gummed up. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, inspect, is the float bowl here, and see what we have. Maybe pour the gas out and see the condition of the fuel. I'm going to clean out the fuel system because I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is pull off the fuel line here. It's nice and easy to get to for a change. Just have a clamp, and usually if you twist it, you can get it to come off. And there we go, we have gas leaking out. Perfect. And we'll want to empty the gas tank. This may take a while. I'm going to stick a towel down in here and tilt it around. Try to get it all dried out in there. And then I'll let it sit out in the sun, blow some air in there so all the sediment comes out. Well, one thing I'm noticing here is that there's quite a bit of corrosion on the fuel inlet, so hopefully the inside of the carburetor doesn't look that bad. Well, I'm hoping I can just take off the float bowl and clean things out and not have to take the whole carburetor off. What you need to do that is a 1/2-inch socket, and there's a bolt on the bottom of the carburetor, and that bolt is actually your main jet, which is the part in the carburetor that usually gets plugged up and stops your lawnmower from running. So we'll check that piece out and see if it's plugged, and we'll see how dirty the inside of the carburetor is. Okay, so here's the main jet, and I can see that it's plugged. I'll show you. So hopefully you can see that, but there is supposed to be a hole going down through the middle that connects. This is the gasket you don't want to lose. And you'll see there's a hole on that side and a hole on that side, and all the holes connect, and they should all be cleared out. I usually just poke a wire down through there and spray some carburetor cleaner, and that does the trick. And to get the carburetor bowl off, since it didn't just come off, a lot of times they'll just fall right off when you take the bolt out, just give it a little wrap like that. And yep, you look inside the carburetor float bowl here, you'll see there's tons of sediment and corrosion and whatnot that we do need to clean out as well. So I tipped it up so you could see what the inside of the carburetor looks like, and you can see for the most part it's pretty clean. I'm going to take that float out and clean up that residue there, but for the most part I think it's clean all over the surface. Let's see what we have. Take out this hinge pin, and careful because there's a float needle in there that's going to drop. Right. So you can see I'll probably brush it out a little bit, use some carburetor cleaner, but it's pretty clean. Just going to take this off because I can see that there's corrosion under there that needs to be cleaned off as well. All this stuff. And I think I can reuse the gasket, but I'm going to clean it up as well, get all this stuff off of here. So I'll use a little carburetor cleaner on here and a toothbrush, scrub off all this crud, and I'll even use a Q-tip, get up in here into some of these nooks and crannies, because it's very important to clean everything out thoroughly. You saw how small that hole was in the main jet. Something the size of a speck of sand can prevent your engine from running if it plugs up that main jet. And I'll use a screwdriver to remove the chunkier stuff on here that won't come off with the brush. I also want to make sure to clean out the fuel line a little bit. I saw some residue up in there. I think it's in good enough condition we can reuse it. Just needs to be cleaned out. The carburetor float itself, it hasn't leaked, so it's still floating, but there is that residue on there we need to get off, and we'll want to clean off the float valve too. If the carburetor's in really bad shape, you'll have to replace the float valve here and the seat that it goes up against. This one I think is not in that bad a shape, so I don't think we'll have to rebuild it. I'm going to put all these components in some carburetor cleaner and soak it for a little while, and then use a toothbrush to clean it all out, and some small wire to poke down into the holes of the main jet there to make sure they're all clear. And as you can see, the parts turned out pretty clean after soaking in the carburetor cleaner for, a little over a day. This is one of the ways you can tell if your main jet's clear. You just spray some carburetor cleaner in and watch what happens. See, it comes shooting out the side, so you know you're good. I just have to clean off the rest of this stuff. Just scrape it off, since it didn't come off in the soak. Just kind of rubbing this gasket. I didn't use any carburetor cleaner because that can cause this rubber to swell. But I'm just kind of rubbing it with my gloves here. And you can see it's cleaning up. I'm just getting all that powder residue off of there. Sometimes a little bit of motor oil can help clean them up. Did anybody see where the hinge pin went? I can't find it. I'm afraid it's down in the grass here. Here's a tool that I use when this problem occurs. It's a $20 metal detector I bought, and let's see if we can find that hinge pin. Make sure it's not picking up that. There it is. Where is it? Yeah. Woohoo. There we go. Our hinge pin. Alrighty, so let's get this back together. Everything is nice and clean. Oh, you know, that's going to be difficult putting this float on. Oh, wait a sec. Yeah, we got it. Okay. And I was able to clean off this gasket enough to where it'll work. Put it in place. Get it mounted up there. Then you want to cinch it down pretty good, not too much, because it can strip. It is, after all, a brass bolt going into an aluminum housing, so easy to strip. Alright, I think that should be good. We're ready to test this thing out. Well, you know, that seemed a little too easy. Hopefully things will work out for us. Hopefully the carburetor holds gas. Oh, jeez!